Good evening, family. Here we are for the new moon solar eclipse in Aries, baby. Lots going on in the heavens. Join me, show me your names on the screen. Let's get together, share the love, share the wisdom, share the insight so we can understand what's going on, so we can tune into the energy and, keep on doing the walk. But this is a new moon solar eclipse in Aries. It is a new beginning. It is a new cycle, it is a new intention, a new initiation, but it has complexity to it. It's kind of like an initiation that will take a while to fully manifest, but it surely begins now. Show me your names on the screen, family. Let me know you're here with me. This is Sudish, the evolution of sound. Let's go. Hello, April. Namaste Bara, Trukshika, Trishan and Anna. Awesome. Coming to you right now. Here I am. Hello. We'll take the music a bit down. Hope everyone is doing alright. We are right now, as we get in together, we are in a dark moon phase leading to the new moon, but usually the dark moon phase in the teachings of the Tibetans, it's the time of deep contemplation, of silence, of going inwards and kind of like feeling, understanding, realizing what we are closing down, what we are ending, what we are releasing. It's that kind of grand finale of the release of the full moon that we had 2 weeks ago. And because we're in eclipse season, it's even more significant, even more powerful. Hello, Ima, Shabbat Shalom. So basically, I'm just fixing my system here. Yeah, there we go. So, eclipse season, times of great changes. Hello, Kimberly. Great changes in eclipses always happen. They come once in 6 months. So the fact that we're now here in eclipses, it means that we are fully closing the cycle that we began in September. Last eclipses happened in the end of September or beginning of October. So the process we've been kind of processing since then is now ending on this by tomorrow night. And tomorrow at 9:53 p.m. we're going to have the new moon solar eclipse in Aries, initiating a new 6-month cycle that will take us into the next eclipses that will happen in September. And this is a big year, it's we spoke about it all along this year, that it's kind of a year where we're going to have glimpses of the future and glimpses of the new beginning, but it's not fully flying into the future. It's kind of like getting glimpses and coming back and getting glimpses and coming back. And this new moon solar eclipse is really having those ingredients involved in that kind of symbology as well. So we are definitely initiating something new, a new energy, a new frequency, a new sense of self. And let's start by talking about the fact, what is Aries? Aries is the first star sign of the zodiac. It's that sperm fertilizing the egg. It's that life form taking place. Shalom, Dana. It's that new beginning. It's that initiation. It's like you putting the key in your car and starting the engine. And that's the Aries. It's the fire, it's the urge, it's the desire, it's the I want, I need, I desire, I am craving. It's that ego self kind of like drive force, which it's necessary because it's what gets us up in the morning out of bed and makes us go through our day and do things. But the unchecked Aries could be arrogant, aggressive, fiery temper, kind of like pushover, kind of like dominant and forceful, and I want what I want and I want it now. And that's in general the energy of Aries. But we need to use it to our advantage, to go and get our dreams, to go and make the changes we want to make, to go and get our desires manifested and get a direction and start going. Hello Sarah, it's good to see your name. But there is a lot of involvement here of like we're having a lot of Aries, as you can see in the chart. We have right now Aries and Chiron. If you look at your 10 o'clock at your 8 o'clock on the chart, you've got Aries still on the 24 degrees of Aries, Chiron on the 22nd degree of Aries. The Sun is on the 7th degree of Aries, Mercury retrograde, 1st degree of Aries. And then we have the Pisces, a lot of Pisces. We've got Neptune 2955. This is the last 5 minutes of Neptune in Pisces. Now mind you, Neptune is gonna go into Aries within 24 hours after the new moon solar eclipse on Sunday evening. And this is for the first time in our life, it's for the first time in 164 years. So really, like the new moon solar eclipse is one big kind of topic by itself, but really even the bigger topic is the fact that Neptune is moving into Aries. And so it's quite auspicious and amazing that within the 24 hours of a new moon solar eclipse in Aries, of this new beginning in the sense of Aries, we're having Neptune come into Aries, emphasizing that even more. Neptune is going to be in Aries only for a few months until October, and then it's going to retrograde back into Pisces and shift permanently into Aries only in Australia Day 2026, next year. So think of Neptune in Pisces moving to Aries is like that big kind of whale, kind of like rising up to the surface, kind of making that big jump off of the ocean, but then splash down into the deep ocean again. It's kind of like jumping out of the oceans, looking around, seeing how it looks like outside of the water, who is around, boats, fishing boats, sailing boats, no boats, cool, and then goes back into the ocean to kind of like eat some more plankton. So just keep that in mind with the Neptune transition, that we're going to have Neptune goes to Aries on Sunday night until October, then Neptune retrograde back into the 29th degree of Pisces where he is now, and then only in January of next year Neptune is gonna move direct. That by itself gives us the insight that as Neptune shifts into Aries on this new moon solar eclipse, we are going to get this kind of like a new vision or a new spiritual quest, a new dream, a new form of spirituality or divinity or connection to love, or a vision or some kind of a mystical unfolding in our life. We're gonna get a glimpse of that, but it's not gonna be fully like boom. It's like when you wake up in the middle of the night, you wake up from this kind of vivid dream, but you woke up in the middle of the dream. So it's kind of like you had this amazing dream that you were like getting a vision and a download and a message, but then you wake up in the middle because someone knocked on the door. So you wake up and it's like, oh my god, what was that dream? But what happened? What happened? I didn't see what happened until the end. And you wake up and you go through your day and you kind of like, what a bummer. I have no idea how this dream ends. What is the concept of the message? Where was that going to? What was supposed to happen afterwards? It's like watching a movie, and in the highlight of the movie suddenly you have like a power outage, and it's like, but what happened in the movie? Oh my god, now I have to wait. And so yeah, we will have to kind of wait when Neptune goes back into Pisces to disillusion us even further, to kind of like really kind of fine-tune the vision and the dream, and what's psychotic and what's an illusion and what's kind of like unchecked spirituality, in order for the new current, for the new frequency to really kind of come through in 2026. So this by itself is kind of like what I'm saying to you, that yes, we are a new moon solar eclipse in Aries, yes, we are initiating, yes, we are starting something new here, a new journey of self, a new definition of self, a new direction of self, but we don't necessarily know what it is. We don't fully understand what it is. We don't have the full vision. We don't. If you have a vision, good on you. But a lot of us will be in this unknown ocean of Pisces. Second. this unknown ocean of Pisces of like, but I don't know. I mean, I have some intuition, I have some feeling, I'm getting some messages, I'm getting some insights, but it's not clear. I'm not fully sure about it. I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know if I should do it. That's kind of how it could feel like. So just keep that in mind, because when we come to this Aries, it's a lot of fire, of desire, of like, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. I want to make it happen now. I want to make it happen now. But it's not necessarily going to be like that. It's going to be kind of like prolonged shift, prolonged change into 2026. We are starting it now, but only when we're gonna kind of come into the kind of February of 2026, this is where it's really kicking in, because only in February 26 Saturn will meet Neptune in Aries. So there's a lot of kind of multi-timeline, multi-complexity happening here. There is kind of like the future and the past and beginning and ending. I'm just giving you that kind of to understand the big picture, that yes, we are starting, but it's going to be a prolonged multi-layer start. So now let's look at the chart. We've got the moon, and the moon entered yesterday into Pisces. I'll take the music a bit down, although I'm loving it. So the moon entered, just a second. It's still a new beginning. So let's look at the 11 o'clock on the chart. Actually, let's start from 11 o'clock. We got Pluto on the 3rd degree, 29 minutes of Aquarius, exploring new territory. And everything is supporting it. The same thing, everything is supported from all the planets. Pluto in Aquarius, transformation, futuristic, advancement, revolution, innovation, rebirthing, creating something new, a new future, a new direction for Aquarius. Humanity, the world is going through profound transformation, which could bring up deep fears alongside with the empowerment. And so what is Aquarius is like the high-tech technology, internet, the AI, cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, robotics, flying cars, SpaceX. It is X platform with the freedom of speech, with the revolutionary thing, Grok as the search engine that is now like going to take over Google basically. It's not just kind of like an AI on application on top of Twitter. Now this week it's been implemented into Telegram. You can download Grok into your browser and have it as your search engine, quicker, faster, more authentic, more real, more truthful. It's, AI, all the competition of AI, all the race of AI is intense. Every week you have like headlines coming out about robotics advancement, robotics improvements, like robots that already work like humans in warfare. And that's now touching base also with Uranus in Taurus. Pluto is in Aquarius. Aquarius rules by Uranus. Uranus is in Taurus. So Pluto is giving the power to Uranus to revolutionize Taurus, the physical reality, the values, the money, the homeland security, safety, the army, the police, the family, the home, the relationships, the sexuality, the sensuality. Uranus is already disrupting Taurus since 2018, and now that Pluto kicked into Aquarius, it's giving Uranus even more power, more. So Uranus is really gonna have like a lot of impact on our physical reality, because he's also now in the final 5 degrees of Taurus. So over the coming months, we're gonna have now Neptune moves into Aries, and then we're gonna have Uranus moves into Gemini. We're gonna have Jupiter moves into Cancer, and we're gonna have Saturn moves into Aries, and 5 massive planets, archetypes, are shifting star signs within this year, within a few months. So put it like that, 2025 is gonna blow our heads off, and the world that is going to unfold over this year is gonna be a very foreign new world that we're gonna have to just keep on adjusting to. And that's where all these Pisces party is topping it up. So back to Pluto Uranus. Pluto is doing that in Aquarius, kind of like birthing and giving the power of transformation to the people, to technology, to the mavericks, to the innovators, to robotics, to AI, to space travel, to space weather, frequencies, sound, and then it empowers Uranus in Taurus, and Uranus in Taurus is doing a revolution in finance, in economy, in values, in home, in safety, security, stability, sexuality, identity, and all these kind of like physical reality ingredients that are going through transformation. So we're seeing like the kind of like, even in warfare, every week or so you see headlines about the drones that took over the battlefield, and now there's like development of defense system against the drones. I've seen this week, it was amazing. It's like this truck that opens up the back and it has this kind of like a microwave concept device, and the microwave kind of big square is basically beaming this massive energy that just drops the drone to the ground, because the frequency that they send just dismantles the drones. You've got the robo dogs that kind of utilized in warfare. So, you know, I believe that all the war kind of around the world, it's also being used as the experimental stage for all this new technology. And also Uranus in Taurus. Uranus is uranium, nuclear energy in Taurus. So we see over the last year a lot of talks about nuclear threats and everyone's nuclear. If it's energy, if it's weapons, if it's development around that. So that's supporting that. And at the same time this is happening, Pluto is also sextile. As you can see, Pluto on the 3rd degree of Aquarius is in sextile to the beginning of Aries. So it was sextile Venus a few days ago. Now it's been sextile in Mercury retrograde in the last few days. It's sextile the Sun as well. So everything that Pluto is doing in Aquarius is also promising like supportive development for the Aries archetype of self. On the other hand, Uranus on the 24th Taurus is sextile in the 24th degree of Pisces, where Saturn is. And that is also a positive alignment of that same kind of like whatever is happening in our physical reality, whatever kind of revolutionary transformation Uranus is doing to our lives in Taurus, shaking the value system, shaking the you know, how we perceive safety, how we perceive security, how we perceive relationship, how we perceive love, how do we value things. That is going through deep transformation in a very kind of like could be abrupt, shocking, sudden, unexpected, that you used to value that person, now you don't value them anymore. I'm just gonna change to the Maham Britannia mantra to bring us a bit of more comfort, because yeah, a lot is happening there. Maham Britannia mantra for peace and healing for us and the world in the background. Om Shanti. So, as you can see, I'm shooting at you like all these kind of insights that are coming from everywhere, and it's all adds up and adds up and adds up to the same kind of concept in the big picture. Hello, Brother Rolking. Good to have you with us. Hello, D. Lennon. So, Pluto sextile, the beginning of Aries, I said. Now Uranus sextile Saturn, that has been going on for a while, and it's becoming tighter and tighter as Saturn moves forward to close the sextile exactly. And this is also, a sextile is a positive development, supportive development, and Saturn in Pisces, sextile Uranus in Taurus, it's saying, look, there is all these abrupt changes, revolutionary things happening in your life, your physical reality gets all these shocks and traumas, and kind of like things just change and things are not the same anymore, and it all looks a bit alien to you or feel a bit alien to you. Maybe you used to value love like that, but suddenly you don't value love in the same way, but you don't really know how you value love now. You just know that it's changing. And so the sextile to Saturn is our discipline, it's our responsibility, it's our maturity, it's kind of like growing up and kind of learning the hard lessons and doing the hard work. And Saturn in Pisces is saying kind of like, you know, just keep on strengthening your faith, because it's in Pisces. Walk with your spirit, walk with your soul, be in integrity to your soul, be in integrity to spirit, and, you know, be a rebel if you need to be a rebel, but make sure that the rebellion's actions are kind of coming with compassion and love. and they kind of like come in for healing and not for kind of like don't fall into despair, don't fall into depression, because it's potent, it's available to fall into depression and despair. And as we speak right now, the moon, you can see the moon on the 23 degrees of Pisces. The moon is conjunct Saturn exactly right now. It's going to unfold over the next couple of hours exactly. And the moon in Pisces is kind of like, moon in Pisces is very sensitive. This is happening since yesterday. Like this morning I woke up, and as soon as I woke up I could feel my body was kind of like not comfortable. I was thinking, what's going on? Just nervous system activity. I was kind of feeling a bit anxious. I was kind of feeling uncomfortable, and I was like, okay, I don't know what this is about, but you know, what can I do? Let's have some breakfast, let's drink water, let's do some breathing, let's go for a walk. Okay, cool, you know, we can just like do our spiritual practices with our discipline in order to regulate, in order to kind of like help the physical body. But that's like, I knew exactly astrologically what it was about. It was like moon in Pisces, very sensitive, come together with towards Uranus, towards Saturn in a sextile to Uranus. Uranus is the nervous system. It's kind of like there's electricity, there's kind of like unease, there is something going on, the soul is sensing some impending event or impending change. And as the moon comes to Saturn, this goes like, okay, but what we can do is feel our sensitivity and allow ourselves to be sensitive and to feel, but not to feel lost within it, or not to feel like a sense of despair, or I don't know what to do. Oh my God, no, just regulate. Saturn, moon. Regulate your emotional body, use your discipline, use your practices, if it's breath work, if it's meditation, if it's a homeopathic remedy, or tissue salt, or a bath with magnesium, or grounding your feet on the earth. Just kind of, that's what Saturn helps us with the moon right now. There's like saying to the moon, look, it's like thing that the moon, the goddess, comes to Saturn, is like, oh my God, I'm so sensitive. It's like the woman comes to the grandfather. Yeah, moon, Saturn. Moon, the woman, the feminine. Saturn, the grandfather. You know, so it's like the woman comes to the grandfather, oh my God, I don't know what to do. My partner, he doesn't answer my call, and he told me he will call me, but he doesn't call me. I'm very worried. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to do. So the grandfather's like, oh, calm down. Come, sit, love. Come sit with me. Come. Have a cup of tea. Make yourself a cup of tea. Come, sit. No, but I'm very worried. It's like, yeah, I can hear you. You're very worried. You have a legit reason to be worried, but it's not gonna help. Sit. Now take a deep breath. It's not helping. I'm very worried. It's like, yeah, I hear you. Just take a deep breath. Close your eyes. Now say to yourself, everything is going to be okay. So that's what Saturn is doing to the moon. It's kind of like, hey, grow up. Don't be a little scaredy cat. It's okay that you are sensitive. It's okay you are feeling things, but kind of like, you know, just regulate yourself. You know, be in your discipline. Now, what is the moon feeling? The moon is very sensitive in Pisces. What is it feeling? It's feeling that it's kind of like, oh my God, I'm going to have to face so much. First of all, I'm being this sensitive Pisces on a dark moon phase. I'm kind of closing, releasing, letting go things that I've kind of done, initiated on the full moon solar eclipse 2 weeks ago when I was in Virgo. So full moon eclipse in Virgo was around like detox and declutter and getting grounded and embodied and kind of like regulating and purifying and perfecting. And now comes this kind of like 24 hours before, 48 hours before the full moon, and the moon is in Pisces. It's like, but, it's like, hey, what did we initiate on the full moon eclipse? To get grounded, to get embodied, to clear and detox and purify. What? The sun was in Pisces. Your unconscious kind of like debris, your unconscious bullcrap that makes you go like spiraling, your unconscious illusions or paranoia, your paranoia, Pisces, fears, paranoia of what? Of the unknown. There is this element of the unknown in the air, that we all know that we are heading towards somewhere, something that we don't even know what fully it is. And that can bring up fears. Because when we are feeling that we know what we're doing, we know who you are, we have a structure of our life, we know how our day is looking like, we are on top of the world, we are cool, confident, secure, stable, we're going for it. But when we don't know, a lot of people get freaked out. Most people are freaking out. It's like, but I don't know how I'm going to pay the bills tomorrow, if I'm not going to have work today. And if I'm gonna lose this job, then how am I going to be able to feed myself? And the investment, oh my god, the crypto market is dumping right now. Oh no. And where is this world going to? This world is so weird. Everything is going down. There is wars everywhere. Everything is corrupted. The lies, deceits, illusions. Whoa, what's going on? People are weird. People are psychos. People are this. People are that. It's like, okay. The world. People. Okay. You don't know where you're going. Okay. What's going to help you? To keep on entertaining those subconscious, unconscious kind of like debris that kind of takes you down the spiral? What's going to help you? To keep on entertaining this depression, this melancholy, this kind of like psychotic kind of like episode? The fact that you are mentally not perfect, not right, you know that you are not in your best ability or best shape? Is it going to help you to keep on entertaining that? I mean, it's okay to acknowledge that. It's important to acknowledge that if you're in a place that is like unwell or, depressed or a bit kind of like mentally unstable. It's very important to recognize that, to acknowledge it and take action. See your therapist, see your psychologist, see your psychiatrist, see your healer. Go to meditation, go to healing, go to a walk, go to the gym. Yes, it's important to attend those things, but what I'm saying is, it's not helping you to freak out about it. And the freaking out about it that's the unconscious kind of like thing going like it's hijacking the conscious mind and driving it into the wall. And so the full moon eclipse in Virgo was about like, we need to clear all this kind of like mumble jumble of the sun was in Pisces. So now we are coming into the last 24 hours before the new moon solar eclipse, and all this sensitivity is coming up, and the moon is in Pisces, and we are closing a cycle, and things are ending, and then the moon goes like, oh my god, there's so much coming towards me. Look at the moon. Over the next 24 hours, she's now with Saturn. After she's gone with Saturn, she's going to meet the North Node. After the North Node, she's going to meet with Venus. After Venus, she's going to meet with Neptune. After Neptune, she's going to meet with Mercury, and only then she's going to come to the Sun, to the new moon. So she has to face all of this over the next less than 24 hours exactly, until she gets to the new moon solar eclipse. So the moon comes to Saturn, and Saturn say, regulate yourself, be responsible, just do the work, just use your practices, use your discipline. Spiritual, Pisces, spiritual discipline, spiritual kind of practices, faith, meditation, devotion, light a candle. Instead of worrying about tomorrow, take a prayer. Speak to your angels, speak to God, speak to Creator, speak to creation. If you have a problem, you're worried about it, you don't know what's going to be with you. If you're going to continue entertaining the worry, you're not really going to manifest any solution. Instead of that, take the worry, recognize it, acknowledge it. Now, say a prayer. Say a mantra. Say something to spirit. Speak. It's for free. Your channel to God, to creation, to the universe is for free, available to you 24/7. You worry about something? Speak to spirit. You're concerned about something? Speak to spirit. You want to manifest something? Speak to spirit. So that's what Saturn is saying to the moon. And then the moon will come to the North Node. After she met with Saturn, she regulated herself. She kind of like took charge of the situation, of the sensitivity. And let's go by the time. I gave it to the chat room today, but I'm gonna take you through the next hours. So, moon conjunct Saturn on the chart on your 10 o'clock, exactly at 10:02 p.m. tonight. Just after we're gonna finish this love stream, the moon will conjunct Saturn exactly. Then, by tomorrow early morning, There it is. By 3:27 a.m. tonight, as we are asleep, the moon will conjunct the north node. Now, also what's happening simultaneously is that earlier today, Venus conjunct Neptune for the second time. Venus went direct through Pisces into Aries. Venus stationed retrograde on the 10th degree of Aries, and now she's back into Pisces. Earlier this morning, last night, Venus entered Pisces again, and earlier today, in the midday, Venus was conjunct Neptune. So that's adding up also to the sensitive moon in Pisces. Also Venus conjunct Neptune in the end of Pisces. Like, let's go. Let me take you. So I took you through the journey of the moon, but now I'm pivoting away to the journey of Venus. And it's all happening simultaneously. So, okay, so you know what? Let me take you. I forgot to bring my glass of water. Hip hip hooray. Okay, so on your 10 o'clock, the moon entered Pisces at 6:31 a.m. this morning. Okay, moon entered Pisces 6:31 a.m. this morning. Venus on 9 o'clock on the 0019 of Aries, about to go into Pisces. Okay, so then we're gonna move a few hours forward, and here it is. On your 9 o'clock at 7:40 p.m. this evening, just recently, literally an hour and a half ago, Venus entered Pisces again. Venus retrograde back into Pisces. Now the cool thing about this new moon solar eclipse, the new moon solar eclipse is happening on the 9th degree of Aries. Venus stationed retrograde on the 10th degree of Aries. Mercury stationed retrograde on the 9th degree of Aries. So this new moon solar eclipse is happening exactly in the same position where Venus and Mercury stationed retrograde. Cool by itself, meaning Venus and Mercury traveled through Pisces into Aries. They stopped on that degree, the 9th, 10th degree of Aries, and go like, whoa, 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 wait a second. This is a lot is going on here. We went through Pisces, Mercury and Venus. We met with Saturn. We met with the North Node. So it's kind of like Saturn told us about, like, gave us a bit of an exam, how far we've come, what we've achieved, what still need to be achieved. Now, this is an important exam that Saturn did with Venus and Mercury, because Venus and Mercury will station direct on top of Saturn in a few weeks. So it's almost like Venus and Saturn went through Saturn. Saturn gave them an exam, says, look, I'm going to send you on this kind of rite of passage. You're going to have to prove to me that you really deserve this new future. You really deserve this new direction, this new dream. So I need you to show me that you really learned the lesson and that you kind of like gonna, that you deserve it. So they went through Neptune, then they passed Saturn, they met with the North Node, downloaded something about future destiny. Then they met with Neptune, and they kind of got lost a bit in confusion. At the same time, they are downloading from the higher realms, from the higher dimensions of spirit, some divine guidance, some divine unfoldings, some miracles, some visions or some glimpses of healing. Then they move into Aries. They station on the 9th, 10th degree of Aries, because they go like, okay, wow, this has been a lot to process. We need to go and review all this, and also we need to give Saturn the result of our assignment. So now Venus and Mercury are retrograding back. So 7:40 p.m. tonight, Venus entered Pisces again, soon to follow Mercury. And as soon as Venus entered Pisces on the 29:59 of Pisces, Neptune is already 29:52. I said tonight, it's last night, 7:40 p.m. Thursday. 7:40 p.m. last night, Venus entered, so all the things I told you about the moon entered Pisces and Venus entered Pisces, that happened yesterday, not today. Sorry about that. Mercury retrograde. So 7:40 p.m. last night, Thursday, Venus entered Pisces, and as soon as she enters Pisces, she's already in conjunction with Neptune, but they're building that up. The moon is already on 7° Pisces. This is last night. So now I'm moving a few hours forward, and the exact conjunction of Venus and Neptune happened last night at 11:46 p.m. Venus was conjunct Neptune second time. And so now it's important to do, what was that date? Let me check. It's important to kind of realize there's a few kind of check-in mark points here in this kind of saga. Let me have a look, just a second. So, so Venus conjunct Neptune the first time happened on the 2nd of February. Okay? So take this note for your Venus journey. Venus conjunct Neptune first time 2nd of February. Something happened. Some miracle, some development, some divinity, some divine intervention, or some dreams, or something kind of mystical, or some kind of like divinely guided events happened in your Venus department of life. Health, money, finance, job, relationships, love. Then this happened 11:46 p.m. Last night. This is the second time. Okay? So the second time is kind of like, okay, so what is this about? So Venus, again, the journey from Saturn through Pisces to Aries station, coming back to Neptune, says, Neptune, what is this about? I mean, I understand that you are guiding me towards a new vision or a new dream, or I understand that you are taking me through a process of disillusionment of some kind. But can you shed some more light into this matter? It's not so clear. I'm a bit confused. So it's possible that you are getting downloads. It's possible you're getting some dreams. I woke up from a weird dream this night. And it's like everything kind of like has messages in it, you know. It's possible you're going through things in your relationships, or in your financial life, or in your career, in your health, and you're kind of like trying to understand it better, or you're getting an insight about it, or you're getting a feeling about it, or an intuition about it. From here, Venus is going to go towards the North Node and then back into Saturn, and she's going to station on top of Saturn. And Venus and Saturn is going to be there for a few weeks together, and it's not going to be comfortable because Saturn is kind of like hiccups, delays, do the hard work, kind of like don't get frustrated, you know. It's kind of like learn the lesson. So it's important, kind of this Venus and Neptune second time could be like kind of another spiritual checkpoint of like being your spiritual integrity. Just be in your integrity of spirit, and be connected to your faith and to your spirituality, and to surrender and to trust the unknown, and to know that you're going to be all right. Don't get scared, don't get fearful, everything's going to work out. Just trust the process, trust the journey. That's what Neptune is saying to Venus. Neptune is kind of like, hey, I'm ending my journey here in Pisces since 2011. So this is also a thing that Venus retrograde with Neptune, it's also bringing up to our awareness, like it's kind of like closure of like what is the process, the spiritual process we've been on since 2011 until now, when Neptune entered Pisces. And so no wonder that Neptune touched base with Venus, the kind of like the goddess of the feminine, the love and the money and the job and the career, you know. Think about 2011 till now in regards to how your relationships kind of like unfolded, how your jobs, your journey through your career, through your investments, all these things is going through a process of disillusionment and closure. And the final third time that Venus will meet Neptune will be in Aries. So first time happened in Pisces forward. Now Venus comes back to Neptune for the second time, while Neptune is about to go into Aries. So this is kind of like the spiritual kind of like dimension is really downloading some kind of guidance here, but we're not fully aware of it. It's kind of like mystical. It's not clear in your face. It's in through sensitivity and through feelings and through intuition and through this inner knowing. And the third time they're gonna meet in Aries, it's gonna be like, okay, I got it. I got the vision. I got the knowing clearly. That will happen later on. So this is Thursday, 11:46 p.m. last night. Venus conjunct Neptune. The moon was on 10 degree of Pisces. Bringing it back to now. So right now Venus is passing Neptune. They're still together, 29-23. Venus is between Neptune and Saturn, and that's not easy for Venus. Because with Neptune she could be a bit confused, sensitive, and with Saturn she still has to kind of like control herself and kind of be responsible for her life. So you may be feeling very lazy or very kind of like floating or spaced out or kind of dreamy. And Saturn in Pisces saying like, hey, lovey, I understand that you're a bit tired or a bit spacey or a bit dreamy, but your house is a mess. You need to clean the kitchen, you need to clean the toilet, you need to fold the laundry, you need to kind of put the laundry in the laundry machine and kind of, it's like, with all the respect to you being tired, overwhelmed. It's like Saturn's like, you still need to do what needs to be done, even though you're feeling out of it, It's like, okay. So it's like you're feeling sensitive, it's Friday night, you're feeling out of it, so is it really wise for you now to take some alcohol or drugs or get off your face? Is that going to help you? That's what Saturn is saying, is checking. So Venus is in between Saturn and Neptune. It's a bit hard, it's a bit confusing. It's a bit kind of like, but I just want to watch a movie. But I have to do this walk, It's kind of like we need to find the fine balance there. So the moon will be with Saturn at, we said, at 10:02 tonight, like soon. Moon will conjunct Saturn. And by 3:28 a.m. Moon will conjunct the North Node while we are asleep. So pay attention to your dreams tonight. With Neptune, the end of Pisces, pay attention to your dreams all night, every night in the last few weeks. Because like Neptune with Venus still on the 29 degree of Pisces together, while the moon is together with the North Node, there is some kind of like a process happening in our sleep tonight. I recommend setting intentions of healing, of clearing, of releasing before you go to bed tonight. Put it out there to spirit. And then the next thing that is happening is the moon will conjunct Venus. There we go. Moon conjunct Venus on the 29 degree and 10 minutes. Tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. and 16 minutes. So as some of us wake up, Moon conjunct Venus in the end of Pisces, 29 Pisces, like Neptune, Venus, Moon, end of Pisces. This is super sensitive. Very, very sensitive. Could be very emotional. Could be blissful as well, Could be like, oh my God, you and your beloved making love tonight, and you're kind of really connecting on this kind of like loving and this beautiful sweet energy, and you wake up in each other's arms and you're like looking at each other's eyes and you go like, oh my God, I love you so much, Pookie, I love you so much, Coochie. It could be that. For some people that don't have a partner, this could be like, oh my God, there's no one for me to hug, there's no one for me to love, there's no one that loves me, I'm just here by myself, I'm feeling so lost, I'm feeling despair, I'm feeling this, I'm feeling that. For some, this could feel like very healing. It's like, oh my God, I went through such a healing sleep, I had these dreams, and oh wow. Some of us could wake up very sensitive, and so I recommend leaning on spirituality, on faith, on practices, on meditation, on yoga, on Shavasana, on a movie, on music. In the last week with all this energy, I've listened to a lot of music just in the background, Put my Spotify on this kind of like technology, right? Spotify on this AI DJ shoot, play some music for me. And throughout all the day, it will just bring me different songs, different genres, and I'll just be kind of like flowing with it. I was like, oh, cool, Let the music cuddle you in the background, and kind of like lift your vibe or help you get through things. So, very sensitive, could be positive, could be negative for some, depends where you are. But definitely don't fall into kind of like depression, melancholy, despair. This is kind of like, everything's gonna be okay. Take some prayer, have some faith. Mercury on 00 Aries, preparing to go back into Pisces as well. And the next thing that is happening is Moon will be with Neptune. It's amazing that the Moon is touching base with Neptune right before the new Moon solar eclipse, right before Neptune moves into Aries. There it is. Moon conjunct Neptune on the 29th degree of Pisces, 56 minutes. This is 4 astrological minutes before Neptune goes into Aries. And that's happening tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. So yeah, very sensitive morning. If you have kids, the little ones, they feel it a lot and they don't necessarily know how to navigate through it all the time. So if you have kids or something, you might have some emotional little people in your household. If you have babies, the baby might be going off. Or the baby just wake up with a smile of a blissful kind of being and bring so much joy into your life, right? You may be sleeping in your bed and your kids will come into bed and cuddle you and tell you how much they love you. So this could be, I'm just giving both sides of the spectrum, but we should utilize this to kind of like really feel the love at home, really embody love. And if you are single and you don't have family and you don't by yourself, this is you and you, baby. Just kind of when you wake up in the mornings, like give yourself some love and put some music on and bring some love into your life, bring some beauty in your life, do some meditation, watch a movie, listen to music, do something that brings you fun, maybe the ocean, maybe nature. Just do things that can bring you into that blissful self, That's what Saturn is saying to us. Do something that will bring you into the bliss. Use your practice to connect you with spirit, to connect you with fate, to connect you with bliss, and then you will feel it. So, this is it. And a few minutes after the Moon is with Neptune, by 7:36, 6 minutes later, the Moon moves into Aries. As the Moon moves into Aries, fiery Aries, she's meeting up with Mercury retrograde. And so the exact conjunction of Mercury and the Moon will happen at there we go. At 9:01 a.m. tomorrow morning, the Moon is conjunct Mercury retrograde, and now we're having some conversation or some arguments or some debate about how we're feeling. You're not pleasing me, you're not loving me, you're not satisfying me. I want to feel more, I want to be loved more. I don't know what's going on with me, I'm feeling a bit lost. I thought I'm doing alright, but I'm not doing so good. Mercury retrograde, we are reflecting, redefining. And so, take it for example into the crypto market. There's a lot of panic in the market, a lot of confusion, a lot of kind of like, oh, there's a dump, and it's like, okay, cool. Hodl strong. So Moon conjunct Mercury tomorrow at 9:01 a.m. Aries is fiery, right? So fiery temper, fiery words, abrupt. So with Mercury retrograde could be misunderstandings, miscommunication. So the guidance again with all the Pisces, Saturn, all these things, kind of like be in your discipline, just watch your words, think before you speak, don't just spit fire, and kind of like provide love and safety and comfort and compassion, and talk to your beloveds, in a way that you're still honoring your feelings, Aries, you're honoring yourself, you are embodying yourself, you are feeling yourself. But it doesn't mean that we have to burn other people because we are feeling such and such. But this could also be a mental, emotional reconfiguration, understanding about what we just processed tonight, today, what we are feeling, preparing us for the new moon solar eclipse initiation. We might get some clarity or there's a mental, emotional communication happening here. Maybe journaling, maybe talk therapy, maybe talking to a good friend that suddenly sheds some light or helps you understand something. Venus is still with Neptune. Relationships could bring some information, some insight, shed some light into the matter. And then so on that energy, the sound healing meditation is happening at 11 a.m. First group 11 a.m. That will be good. Second group 7 p.m. And the exact time of the new moon solar eclipse is happening on Saturday 9:58 p.m. on your chart at 9 o'clock. The new moon solar eclipse is happening exactly on the 9th degree of Aries and 0 minutes, with Mercury on 0 Aries and 28 minutes, with Neptune 29:57, 3 astrological minutes before it moves to Aries, Venus on 28:48 next to North Node 27:25 and next to Saturn 24:10. So we can say that Venus, North Node, Saturn are in conjunction on this new moon solar eclipse, which means that new moon solar eclipse, new beginning, new initiation, Aries, sense of self, direction, desire, wants, needs, confidence, motivation, direction, assertion, fire. So that's the kind of the fragrance. And it's done while we've got Neptune, Venus, North Node conjunction. So this kind of new direction, new initiation of self, new intentions are guided primarily by spirit, Pisces. Neptune at the end of Pisces, by the divine guidance, divine spirit with Venus, relationships, love, jobs, career, finance, money. With the North Node, the future destiny is calling. So there's a future destiny calling to have a new sense of self within our love life, within our relationships, within our jobs, within our careers, with our sexuality, with our values. But because of the Pisces, it's a bit unknown. We don't fully get it. We don't fully know what it is. We know we want something new. We know we are heading somewhere new. We know we want a new sense of self and a new direction for self, but we don't fully know where it is. And we have faith. We trust the divine process, we trust the divine guidance, and we know that when we need to know, we will know, but we are putting it out there to the universe. That's kind of, in its essence, what's happening there. Now, the other aspect that is happening is that Uranus is sextile Saturn. So that's the supportive development that will come through this kind of like new intention of self and a new direction that is unknown, but there is a desire that is it a desire that doesn't have a direction. It's like there is a desire, there is a want, there is a need, but there is no full vision, there is no full insight, there is no full understanding. So think like you're on a boat and you want to find a new land. Think like you're a Viking back then, and you just go into your boat, into your ship, and you sail the ocean in a quest to find new land. But you don't know where that new land is, and you don't know how to get there. But you trust the ocean and you trust spirit that you will find the land you need to find. You will get to the land you need to get when it's right. So you surrender to the ocean. Pisces. Surrender to the ocean, surrender to the unknown, surrender to spirit with the intention and the desire to find a new land. That's actually a good metaphor for this energy. And so Saturn sextile Uranus saying like, yes, trust your boat, Saturn structure, trust your boat, trust your skills, trust your discipline, and through that you will revolutionize your life. You will find a new Taurus. Now Taurus ruled by Venus, as Venus is with Neptune. So whatever Venus is going through in Pisces, Uranus in Taurus, the home of Venus, is saying like, don't worry, this is all going to be good for you. You have to trust the process. Something good is going to come out of it. You will revolutionize your life. You will break free from the old. You will go into much better life. Your frequency will rise. You will birth a new life. You will love the life that you're going to have. So trust this process. It's not gonna be a week or a month. Trust it. Okay? Hello, a new land. Hello, active creative, Eugene and Valerie and Breeze. Hello, Breeze. Now, on top of that, the other aspect is that Mars direct in Cancer can't wait to get out of Cancer. Mars has been here for a long time, since September. Mars doesn't like to be in Cancer. Mars is ruling Aries. Mars is the warrior going, making it happen. But again, is at sea, Cancer, water. So there's a lot of fire and water. So pay attention to the fire and water in your life. Fire, your temper, your drive, your aggression and your drive force and you want. And water, compassion, surrender, love, flow. It's kind of like, if you put too much fire in, there will be steam and you will find yourself in a sauna. That's what happened to water when it's in a hot steam room. There's a sauna and it's like you sweat and, oh my God, you know. Too much fire, too much rave in the engine in the car. If you don't have enough water in your engine's gonna blow up. You wanna drive your car and get to your destination, but you're reaching an area in the roads where there is a flood. But you decided that because you need to get to where you're going to get to, you're gonna drive your car through that flooded road because you believe that you can do this. And you drive your car into the flooded road because you have a SUV and you have like a high suspension and you think, oh, I can do this, my car is built up for this, and bam, you're stuck in the flood. So it's kind of like, temper your desire and your want and your fire, temper it with flow and surrender and faith. It's kind of like, yes, get out of bed and go and make it happen. But if things don't happen your way and there's delays and this, just trust the divine order. Don't get cooked. Okay? There was something about this new moon solar eclipse that also, where was that? Where was that? Oh, yes. So on the 29 degrees and 43 minutes of Pisces, where Neptune, Venus are, there is a fixed star called Shet, S-C-H-E-A-T, Shet. And this fixed star is, based on this explanation, is used to cause extreme misfortune, murder, suicide, drowning, because of stubbornness, headstrong, combative, unpredictable nature, controversial, violence. And so it's important to kind of like, you know, be aware of this warning of like saying like, if you're gonna be too much fire, too much drive, too much what you want, how you want, thinking that you got this and you're gonna do it, if you're gonna do a bit too much of that, then there could this potential for misfortune and kind of unpleasant experiences. Also with Venus, Neptune at the end of Pisces, we are dealing here with endings. Eclipses is also the time of souls coming into the planet and leaving the planet, so there's like a departure of souls and an arrival of souls. So, you know, check onto your struggling friends. Some people could potentially choose to leave this planet. You know, it's an energy that some people reach the end of the rope and decide that it's not worth it for them anymore. So Pisces, drugs, abuse of substance, you know, people could drink too much or take too much drugs or just kill themselves because they had enough or whatever, you know. Hopefully we won't have too much of that, but that's in the air. So we need to kind of like be in service of love for the struggling ones and give them a good word and send them some love. So Mars in Cancer, water, the home of the moon. And Mars has been in Cancer since September. It entered Cancer, traveled into the 4th degree of Leo, then retrograded back into Cancer, and is still in Cancer. It's already end of March. He's still in Cancer. It's like, get me out of here. Because Mars in Cancer is like a little kid having a tantrum, a googie gear that doesn't know how to control his emotions. Mars is the warrior, is the confidence, is the masculinity, and in Cancer is dealing with emotional insecurities with the inner child. Being nurtured, loved. So nobody loves me, nobody nurtures me. And on top of that, Mars is squaring Chiron in Aries on the 22nd degree. And so Chiron in Aries has been there since 2018. So since 2018, we're all processing this kind of sense of wounding, victimhood in the sense of self. Here comes the new moon solar eclipse in Aries. Neptune is about to go into Aries. And as that is happening, we have a square, the third square, because Mars squared Chiron on the way forward. He squared Chiron on the way back. And now he's doing the third final square that's kind of like getting this right. No more of that insecurity. No more of that googie gear. No more of that kind of like, I need someone to love me in order to be loved, in order to be safe, in order to be secure. I need someone to hug me to know that I'm loved. When I was a child, this happened to me. When people carry their traumas. We are all carrying our traumas. But some people are addicted to carrying their traumas, that they keep on entertaining that and identifying themselves with the trauma that doesn't help them move on. So this kind of like Mars square Chiron, it brings up the wound. It's happening over the last week or two. And it's kind of bringing up the sense of wounding. It's kind of like to force us to have a good look at it and say like, no more of this thing. I mean, this is the whole purpose of Mars retrograde, is to kind of like know these insecurities, this emotional kind of insecurities, this googie gear. It's kind of like, because your mom didn't love you as much as you needed to be loved, then you can't find a woman that will love you. Because your household wasn't safe, and I'm not laughing at anyone, God forbid, it's all valid. People have life experiences, some people having bad life experiences. It's all sacred. I'm just entertaining the metaphor, yeah? So it's kind of like this process, kind of like, okay, but now you're in your 30s, you're in your 40s. Do you really want to still entertaining that child that didn't have the sense of safety and security that it needed to as a child? You're an adult now. You step up and do that for yourself. You big yourself up. You give yourself a hug. You, when someone mistreats you and makes you remember how you didn't like to be mistreated as a child, and that brings up your emotional insecurities, you need to step up into yourself and be here for you. You need to provide that security for yourself. That sense of home, belonging in your heart to yourself, to your emotional body. So Mars square Chiron leading to this new moon solar eclipse. On the new moon solar eclipse, it's already breaking out of the third square. And from here, Mars is moving towards Leo. And it's like, get me out of here. I want to go into my royal heart, into Leo. But before it gets to Leo, it's now going to travel through the final degrees of Cancer, really assimilating all the findings of its retrograde, really putting things into place, and then it will come to Leo later on. It comes into Leo and it roars, this is my new royal heart, this is my new royal love, this is my new kingdom. I found myself again. And so, as this new moon solar eclipse in Aries is going to stamp a new energy, and Neptune moves into Aries to give the divine force kind of blessing to this initiation, Mars will then go into Leo and declare the new sense of royal self. Venus and Mercury will station on top of Saturn, and they will travel forward back into Aries. Saturn will then come and meet Neptune in Aries, but they're not gonna meet exactly. They're gonna again stop, and they're gonna retrograde back together into Pisces. Then they're gonna station direct, and they're going to meet in Aries only in February 2026. Then it will be finalized. So we are now starting an important process of an initiation that is going to be prolonged. We want it to happen fast, Aries. We want it to happen now, Aries. We want to get there now. We want to do it. We want to be it. But it needs to be tempered. We need to fuel that desire, to fuel that direction, to head towards it. but to temper it with the understanding that we are now in March, and it's only going to be fully implemented, stamped on in February of next year, 11 months from now. So, we need to temper that with the understanding of the divine ebb and flow of cosmic processes, that everything has its own natural force, everything has its divinity, divine timing, divine plan, and just trust the flow and have love and compassion for ourselves and for everyone else. But also all this Pisces energy, it brings up a lot of fears and paranoia about the unknown, about where the world is going, about everything is so weird, about, all these things. And Mars in Cancer, since Mars entered Cancer in September, this is where we start seeing all the headlines around alien immigration, border security. Countries started to close the gates and protect their lands, and movement of the citizens to stop bringing immigrants into their countries. And then through the process of Mars in Cancer, Trump became the president, and now there's all these kind of border forces in the border with Mexico. Poland have border securities around their countries. There's rising concerns in Germany, in France, yesterday there was massive stabbing in Amsterdam. So we're gonna see, and also the headlines of wars and wars and wars and wars. And as Mars is traveling through the end degrees of Cancer, now this kind of narrative is gonna become stronger, because there is a war, Mars action calling to protect homeland security, Cancer, to protect the people, to protect the nation, to protect the values, to protect, it's kind of like Cancer is like, we need to take care of our children. We need to protect our children. We need to protect our values, our culture, our tradition. So we need to take action to protect it by doing this, and that. And that some of it involves wars, as we can see around the world. Just to give you kind of understanding how it's supported over there. Now, the other thing that is happening is that Juno is on the first degree of Sagittarius, so we're having this optimistic kind of like desires, wishful thinking, and openness about relationships, that we kind of like, we can look ahead and see how our next relationship or our current relationship, the next phase of it, is going to be much better because of the work we are doing now. It's bringing some optimism and positivity and an extended vision, kind of like seeing the bigger vision, or having a new dream of a lover, of a relationship. And this first degree of Sag is trining the first degree of Aries, where Venus was and where Mercury is now, and where Neptune is going into. So a lot of this process, not only Venus is involved relationships, but it's also trining Juno, the goddess of sacred marriage and relationships, in Sag. That's also a cool thing that happens. What else? And let me see, what is the note I put here? Let me see, just a second. And we are now on the 28th of March as well, which means like three more days to the end of March. Saturn sextile Uranus exactly is on the 4th of April. And it's really cool. The 4th of April is a really cool date. Let's go there. So this is the 29th of March. And then on Sunday, oh yeah, the next big thing is Neptune into Aries. There we go. Neptune goes into Aries for the first time in 164 years in our life, on Sunday at 10:58 p.m. So 25 hours after the new moon solar eclipse in Aries, Neptune goes into Aries. And this is a big change of frequency. This is a big change of energy. This is a whole new cycle is starting for Neptune around the sun. And when Neptune, the planet of spirituality, of dreams, of vision, of creativity, of divine love, of mysticism is coming into Aries, there is a new initiation here for all of us on a spiritual level. We are all getting a spiritual upgrade. We are all getting a new download, a new level, a new kind of level, a new level, a new dream, a new vision in our spirituality. It could be that, if just a second. If you're a therapist or a healer, this could very much be that your healing qualities, abilities, modalities are going to receive an upgrade. If you're a spiritual practitioner of all kind, if you're practicing spirituality, meditation, this is your connection to spirit and to your spirituality is going through a whole new upgrade. You are going up a level. You're going to a new experience of your spirituality, of your divinity, of love. But each sense of self, Aries, each ego, each self is getting here a new spiritual download, a new spiritual kind of like upgrade, a new vision, a new dream. This is beautiful, mystical, beautiful. Really looking forward to it. It's kind of like, bring it on, baby. Bring it on. The moon by that time will be with Chiron. So as the Neptune moves into Aries, the moon is with Chiron. So there's a process, something, there's sensitivity happening. Like Mercury is already. Let's go back to when Mercury is traveling back into Pisces. I forgot that. So, Mercury, yeah. Okay, so Mercury goes into Pisces on Sunday, on your 9 o'clock on the chart. Mercury goes into Pisces on Sunday at 1:18 p.m. Straight, look at that. Mercury conjunct Neptune on the 29:59, the last minute of the zodiac, just before Neptune goes into Aries. While Venus is already 28, North Node 27, 25, they're 1 degree apart, so they are conjunct. So Venus is approaching this future destiny calling, and Mercury retrograde come to meet Neptune for the second time. And they meet on the 29:59 of Pisces, just after the new moon solar eclipse in Aries. So there's a new intention, new initiation kicking in. And then Venus goes to the North Node into this future destiny calling, and Mercury retrograde comes into Neptune for the second time, and there is something happening here on a mental level. There is a download, there is a vision, there is a message, there is an insight, there is a mystical experience, there is something that is, it's like we are getting something very cool, very awesome. It's like we are getting some divine guidance or message. Someone could tell you something. You might see it in a movie, you might hear it in a song, and suddenly it will click in a perfect way and you get an understanding about, because remember, this is all kind of fresh new energy of a new moon solar eclipse. So it's more about like sprout, it's more about yay, it's more about wow, it's more about something new is coming in. And so this new energy is stamped on Saturday night, and then on Sunday afternoon, like Mercury comes to Neptune, and there is a conversation, there's a dialogue, there's something, someone is saying something that makes something clear, understood, and an illusion is being dispersed, or a new dream is emerging. Very cool, pay attention. And so Mercury, Neptune, and then Neptune kicks into Aries, and so yes, Mercury, Neptune, and at around the same time, 7 in the evening, between 6:30, 6 in the evening, the moon conjunct Chiron in Aries, so there is an emotional embodiment around our sense of wounding. So this kind of something about the Mercury-Neptune meeting at the end of Pisces revealing something that is triggering the wounded emotional body for reconfiguration or embodiment or understanding or experience that is happening. Moon Chiron is like around 6:30 in the evening. Let's see. Exactly happening at 6:55 p.m. on Sunday, moon conjunct Chiron, and they both square Mars. So this could be unpleasant. At the same time, it could be pleasant. You know, I'm just saying there's a wounding here. But look at the trines as well. Mars in Cancer. It trines all these Pisces. It trines Saturn. So yeah, that's another aspect of this new moon solar eclipse, that Mars in Cancer on top of squaring Chiron, it's also trining all the Pisces kind of area, especially Saturn. And a trine is a beneficial development. So whatever this kind of moon Chiron is doing, I don't feel it's kind of like wounding. I feel it's healing. Although it may be unpleasant, but there is a understanding, conversation, realization happening here. There is connected, related to the sense of wounding, but it's ultimately beneficial for the healing. Mars trines Saturn in Pisces, beneficial for the healing, karmic healing, karmic closure. Very cool. And the next thing that is happening is, I'm so thirsty, but I don't have any water. Can someone get me some water? Oh, I forgot. All by myself. Okay, so we had to have a bit of laugh as well, yeah? What am I looking for? I'm looking for Mercury and Venus. So I'm moving hours forward. By Monday afternoon, the moon kicks into Taurus. So now we kind of a bit more stability, a bit more grounding, a bit more embodiment of the emotional process. And Venus will conjunct the north node of the moon. 1st of April. You know, crack a joke and don't believe it. Venus will conjunct the north node on Tuesday. There we go. On Tuesday at 7:27 p.m. Tuesday evening, Venus conjunct the north node. Some future destiny event is happening here. Something that kind of like suddenly pivots you towards your future destiny, or calling you towards your future destiny. Very cool. The moon will be with Uranus at that time. So some shocking events, some unexpected events in our physical reality may kind of create some rattled emotional body, but it doesn't necessarily have to be bad. It could also be positive, that some unexpected surprise in our physical reality brings out something. It's sextile Saturn, so it's supportive. Yeah, remember, it's all. Although it could have flavors of discomfort, it's all for better. It's all for development. It's all for support. It's all for healing. It's all for improvement. So keep that in mind no matter what happens in your life. So Venus conjunct North Node, there's the Moon conjunct Uranus, and it's in a sextile to Saturn. This could be very pleasant development that, you know, suddenly kind of like has a flavor of the future destiny calling. And the next thing that is happening is that Venus retrograde continues, and Moon Uranus exactly is happening on a few hours later at around 11 o'clock at night on Tuesday night. Then Venus is passing the North Node, and the next thing is that Mercury, that's cool. When Venus conjunct the North Node, Venus ruling Taurus, the Moon will be with Uranus in the home of Venus. But when Mercury conjunct the North Node, the Moon is in Gemini, ruled by Mercury conjunct Jupiter. Wow. So it's kind of like the emotional body. A new moon solar eclipse, bam. Neptune into Aries, bam. And then Venus, then Mercury Neptune, bam. Then Venus North Node, bam. And when Venus North Node, the moon is with Uranus in Taurus. And then when Venus is moving forward, Mercury comes into the North Node, the moon is with Jupiter in Gemini, the home of Mercury. So the emotional body is really embodying the process of what the ruling planets, Venus and Mercury, are doing in their retrograde there in Pisces. This is amazing. The exact conjunction of Mercury and the North Node is happening on Friday, next Friday, the 4th of April. Now, the 4th of April is a big day, because on the 4th of April is the exact day where we have the exact sextile of Saturn to Uranus, and on top of that we have Mars sextile Uranus trine Saturn. So Saturn trine Mars, Saturn sextile Uranus, Mars sextile Uranus, and what else is happening here? That by itself is big. And Mercury conjunct the North Node. Wow. Wow, the 4th of April. Wow. Wow, this is a week from now, okay? So the next week is like full of events on a spiritual level. Just take notes. So what is this about? We said Saturn, sextile Uranus, supportive development in our physical reality that is karmically, divinely guided. Pisces ending big karmic closures, releasing us from karmic lessons and things like that. Mars in Cancer is trining Saturn, so the actions we take by regulating our emotional body, by loving ourselves more, truly loving ourselves. A new moon solar eclipse in Aries is like a new sense of self-connection to self. Being a good buddies, being a good friends, stop being wounded and being a warrior, being a hero, kicking into your warrior self and go like, let's fucking do this. And so Mars trining Saturn, by having spiritual integrity, discipline, and regulation of our spiritual experiences as our physical reality is going through a lot of beam, bam, boom, we are taking actions that are honoring our emotional needs for emotional security and nurturing and kind of like stability. And that is in a trine. There is a positive development here that is helping us. Mars sextile Uranus, Saturn sextile Uranus. There is a breakthrough, there is a breakthrough, there is a transformation in our physical life that is supportive and supported by Mars actions in Cancer and Saturn actions in Pisces. Beautiful. And on top of that, Mercury retrograde conjunct the North Node for the second time, so there is an understanding, there is a mental assimilation, there is a mental configuration, reconfiguration, redefinition, re-understanding, rewriting that is guided by a future destiny. Awesome. The 4th of April is a day full of awesomeness. The journey towards the 4th of April begins now. It's in our new moon intention solar eclipse tomorrow night, and it's all the process I told you about over the next week, which is eventful. So every day is sacred, every day is spiritual, every day is divinely guided. No matter what happened, trust it, have faith, initiate and surrender. Push forward and then let the water carry you. Step on the gas and then let the car just drive. If you step too much on the gas, you might drive into a wall. Sail into the ocean and don't freak out about the fact that you don't know how you're gonna get there. Just trust. You want a new love? Set your intention for a new love, for a new kind of relationship, but surrender to whatever it may be. You know, you want a new job, you want a new career, you don't know where you're going, you know that you're changing, you know that your job and career is changing, but you don't know where it's going. Be okay with that. Say to Spirit your new intention, you want to find a new job, you want to find a new career, something you're passionate about, something that you're going to love, something that you're going to be good at and you're going to value, you're going to have fun with, and you have no freaking idea what it is. May be it. May it be. Let it be. Trust. Yeah, 4th of April. Awesome. Looking forward to it. Next thing is that 2 days later, Sun comes to the 16th degree of Aries. Oh, yeah, so then by the 6th of April, 5th of April, Venus comes to the 25th degree of Pisces, starting to conjunct Saturn. So from the 4th, which is that awesomeness, from there, then Venus on Saturn, first of all, Saturn comes into the 25th degree of Pisces, here at your 10 o'clock, on Saturday the 5th of April. Saturn comes to the 25th degree of Pisces, and Venus is there retrograding towards it. So now Venus and Saturn are heading towards each other. At the same time, the Sun is on 15th degree Aries. The Sun is now heading towards a sextile to Jupiter. Again, sextile, supportive development. Sun in Aries, assimilation of self, the new direction, the new desire, is offering supportive development with Jupiter in Gemini. Jupiter, philosophy, beliefs, your belief system, by changing it a bit and by changing the definition of what you value, how you interact, what you think about it, what you're philosophizing about it, allowing yourself to kind of be experimental and open your mind to new possibility of new way of thinking, new way of communicating, a new environment, maybe going to the supermarket in that suburb instead of that suburb. By doing that, the Sun is in Aries is having a supportive development in the sense of self. There's a new understanding, there's a new assimilation that is supportive. This is a part of the Mercury-Venus retrograde. Now Venus comes to meet Saturn in Pisces, they conjunct, and as soon as Venus comes into the exact sextile of Sun to Jupiter is happening first, and it's happening on Sunday the 6th of April in the evening. The exact time of the sextile of Sun to Saturn is Sunday 6th of April, 8:30 p.m. We will have a sound healing meditation on that day. Sun sextile Jupiter. At the same time, Venus begins to conjunct Saturn. Now remember, when Venus conjuncts Saturn, it may be uncomfortable, unpleasant, because Saturn is holding us back. Saturn is causing delays and hiccups and all these things. Oh yeah, and at the same time, forgot that. At the same time that the Sun, where is it again? At the same time that the Sun is sextile Jupiter, here the Sun is on your 8:30 o'clock, sextile Jupiter at 6:30 o'clock in Gemini. At the same time, Venus retrograde on the 25th, 30 minutes of Pisces, is in a trine to Mars. So again, positive developments here. Venus in Pisces says a trine to Mars in Cancer. The actions we take for our emotional body and our emotional security and home and the inner child, the actions that we are taking and assimilating based on the retrograde of Mars in Cancer, and a few hours before the Moon will be with Mars as well. So let's take it there. The Moon comes to meet the Moon post the new Moon solar eclipse, and this is now a square, the first quarter square. So the moons will be in the first quarter square to the Sun. There we go, on the 15th degree. Saturday the 5th of April is the first quarter square, the checkpoint between the new moon and the full moon. So the moon will be in Cancer, squaring the Sun. So the moon will kind of test the Sun. It's like, so We said we're going to behave like that towards ourselves and to treat ourselves like that and to believe in ourselves like that and da da da. So now I'm in Cancer and this thing is happening in my life. And so how are we going to do it in a new way? And the answer is yes. Mars in Cancer saying we are now assimilating the actions that we need to take for our emotional security. We're doing it differently this time. Because I am trining Venus in Pisces. So whatever is happening through our spirituality and through our divinity and through our sense of love and compassion, this is beneficial. We're getting some healing made here. Healing is being made. Healing is being done. A beneficial action is supportive the development. As the moon square the sun, checkpoint after the new moon solar eclipse. I like this a lot. At the same time, the sun is also sextile Jupiter, so there's positive supportive development in our mental mind. At the same time, Mercury, the mental mind, is still in conjunction with the North Node, so the future destiny is kind of, there's a new assimilation here, there's a new unfolding here. I really like these concepts that are happening here. And then after the first quarter square, hours later, the moon comes to meet Mars in Cancer on Sunday early morning, 6:30, 6:40 in the morning. Moon conjunct Mars in Cancer, that's next week. And this is kind of like we are feeling the emotional, we are feeling all that. At the same time, Venus is conjunct Saturn, so we need to regulate ourselves, be responsible. We are delivering to Saturn the results of the exam that Saturn gave us on the 2nd of February. Venus met with Saturn 2nd of February, with Mercury as well later on. They went through that and they did all the experiences. The new moon solar eclipse happened. Neptune shifted into Aries, and now Venus is back to Saturn saying, okay, Saturn, the great teacher, the great master, here I am. This is my achievements. This is my results. This is my answers to your exam. And the moon with Mars is like, I hope it's going to be all right. I hope I'm going to pass the test. Mercury is there also with Venus, both retrograding together. Station is like, this is epic what's going on there in Pisces now. And so the moon in Cancer is really feeling a bit insecure about it all. Or, I hope it's going to be okay. I hope I'm going to be all right. And Mars is saying like, don't you worry, baby. I've got your back. We're not going to do the same bullshit anymore. We're going to be okay. Everything's going to be all right. So big up yourself. Believe in yourself. We're going to make it happen. So Venus conjunct Saturn and Mercury with Saturn and Venus, and there is like this process here, karmic process, karmic test. And later on, moving on, the moon shifts into Leo. And then Venus conjunct Saturn exactly on Monday the 7th of April in the evening. The exact time is Monday 8:57 p.m. the 7th of April. Venus conjunct Saturn, Venus retrograde. Mercury at that time is stationing on the 26th degree of Pisces. See the S? So when Venus conjunct Saturn, there is a big exam here, there's a big test here, a test of maturity, of responsibility, a rite of passage. We need to be responsible. We need possible delays, possible hiccups, possible blockages, but we're not going to lose it. We're going to trust the flow. We're going to surrender to whatever is, and that's part of the test. Remember, the fire and the water. It's kind of like, yes, you want it this way, but it's this way. So let's show the universe that we are growing up, that we are learning a new way of walking with the universe, that we know that the part of the mechanism is us pushing forward and initiating, but then the other part is also to let go and surrender and allowing the unfolding to happen, trusting the divine order, having faith. Neptune is now in Aries. It's kind of, you have to embody your faith. Yeah? Everything is like spirit is guiding you now. A new way, a new healing. Now Neptune kicks into Aries, Chiron is there. So there's the healing vibration of Neptune coming to Aries to soothe all the journey of Chiron in Aries since 2018. So, yeah, Venus conjunct Saturn, 7th of April. And then Mercury station direct a few hours later on the 7th of April. And then Venus past Saturn and Mercury goes fully direct on Tuesday, 8th of April, Tuesday night, and notice that, like, since the 6th, Venus is with Saturn. Yeah, this is already the 10th. Venus is with Saturn. It's gonna be like 3 weeks together. By that time, the moon comes into Virgo, and Mercury meets the North Node for the third final time on Friday, the 11th of April, 2 weeks from now. Mercury meets the North Node for the third final time, and this is happening rising to the full moon. And so there's a final assimilation process, understanding happening here. And of course there's much more happening in the background. Just doing the quick kind of scan that takes us all the way to the full moon, but I'm not going to talk about the full moon because it's way too much. But then the full moon will happen on the Sunday, the 13th of April. Sunday morning, 13th of April, full moon in Libra Aries. Okay. 10:06 p.m. I did it. Again, remember, there's a lot going on. There is a lot going on, but it's thank you, Ma'am Britannia Mantra. There's a lot going on. We are starting something new. We are birthing here something, but it's a big process that's going to be fully manifested by February next year. Now, me being me, I forgot to do what supports me. So first of all, I'll say by saying love and gratitude to the Patreon community for your ongoing support. Thank you so much for being a part of this journey. I hope you're enjoying all the big things that we are sharing there. There's a lot of activity in the crypto chat room as we are preparing for a new bull wave. There is a lot of activity in the news chat room. There's a lot of activity in all the rooms. So, you know, keep on being there and sharing what you know and sharing your love, and keep on having fun. And thank you for your support. Do me a favor, everyone, your unconditional support. Press like and press like on this movie. Subscribe to our channel. Share it with your friends or your beloveds, whoever might be in need to hear this. If you want to support me further, please join patreon.com/healingdelight. This is where our online community gets together on our Telegram chat rooms and receiving the new moon and the full moon sound healing meditation recording every month. Sound healing meditations tomorrow, Saturday, 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. New moon solar eclipse in Aries. And then following that, every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Every Sunday, 5 p.m. Every new moon, every full moon. Everything is available for you to book on the booking system. The link in the blurb and in the website soundhealingdelight.com. Healing sessions, I'm here for you if you need me. Come and see me, would love to help you. And other than that, just keep on doing the walk, family. We're on our way. And we just need to keep on doing the walk. And whatever happens in the world and in your life, remember the guideline is trust the divine order, trust the divine flow. So we're gonna finish again with Sudish, the evolution of sound. And let's see the chat room. I haven't checked the chat room. Where is the chat room? Chat room. I didn't see you for a while. Sorry. Where are you? Where is it? Disappeared. It's not here. I'm looking for my chat room. Where is my chat room? Not this one. Not this one. The window disappeared. Ah, it's here. Okay, so Clara from Sweden. My pleasure. Love you, Clara. I'm so happy you met Guy recently. I saw the pictures. Loved it. You guys having fun in Thailand. Looking good. Roll King. Love you, brother. And yeah, Kimberly, thank you. It was amazing. Awesome. See you tomorrow. Yes. Love you, family. Keep up the good work. Keep on being you. Love you more every day. And yeah, as always, peace, love, joy, happiness, and good vibes, you know. That's it. Happy new moon solar eclipse. Yay.